there is a lot of online spaces, YouTube,
Yeah.
online portal, news portal, who say that we are who came out of the mainstream and said that we are alternate. It's also called alternate platform.
Yeah, alternate media, yes.
So then, how do you see these alternate platforms?
I mean, yeah, they are filling a space. I think you are asking how are they for Muslims, if that is your question. The problem with them is that even they, this is a very liberal way of looking at life and at people in India. Indian polity, liberal understanding of liberal polity. They want a certain kind of Muslim, certain portrayal of Muslim on the platforms. It's mostly Muslims as oppressed. So yeah, so you'll see if their coverage of Muslims or Muslim issues, around Muslim issues, would always be how oppressed these people are, how they are being oppressed. Even their fetish around Shaheen Bagh protest, oh, Muslim women sitting there. And how, if you look at the reporting around Shaheen Bagh by these alternative media as well, how peaceful the Shaheen Bagh protest was. Like, there was too much stress on the word peaceful, along with Muslim women protesting how peaceful they are. So they're saying two things by doing this. A, that had this been Muslim men's protest, it wouldn't have been peaceful. And two, that Muslim women are so oppressed that they can't even think about being, aggressive or violent. So they are not peaceful by choice, but because they can't be but peaceful. That's the Islamophobic nature. Another thing is that if they do platform any Muslim on the platforms, it would always be a certain kind of Muslim. They would stick to, there's a strict code. They have defined what kind of Muslims are good Muslims for them, and anybody who's outside of that definition or that window, they would try their best to not give space to them. Say, for example, all of these, most of these liberal media, they haven't even interviewed Asad Owaisi. Wire has not ever even once interviewed Asad Owaisi. I mean, I think about it and be like, Newslandia has never once interviewed Owaisi. He is one of the most mainstream Muslim politicians of our time. Just think about it.
So you as a media, not media, you as a person have lot many to articulate. So, and your history itself shows that you have so much to articulate and you are a known person. So why don't you write? They must accept yours, right?
Initially, I used to write. I tried to send to them to engage on their platforms, but people like me aren't invited there much. So now, if I do write, I write for Muslim platforms only, because they don't want me, and why should I give them any more support or whatever. I would rather empower independent Muslim media organizations like Maktoub and others. And since they don't want me, and that's which shows a lot of, it's inherent Islamophobia there. You are not judged for the quality of your arguments, but how your arguments are opposing their understanding, their idea of things. So it's very prejudiced space, and I don't have that appetite anymore to fight my way around it. So I've just resorted to writing. If I do write, I write for Muslim platforms only.
So you did you ever work in some?
I did write for News Laundry in 2017-18. They started their correspondence. They started covering a lot of student politics, and I was one of their correspondents. But after I left it, I was there for like 6 months or so, and then I left after CA protest. I was like, there was a media trial around me, and there's this right-wing propaganda platform called Op India. They did several stories about me, and in their headlines they used to write News Laundry columnist Sharjeel Usmani. So News Laundry brought out a statement saying he was never associated with us. He just worked with us in capacity of a freelancer, which is not true, but whatever suits them, whatever saves them, I don't care now.
But you did write in first post, I think, right?
Yeah, first post I wrote because there was a dear friend of ours who she is also from a marginalized community, I think. She understands the need of other voices, the need of other marginalized voices in the mainstream, and she was more than willing to platform us if our writings were good enough. And I have written for first post because of her.
So, is a good person. What's her name?
Grishma.
So that is the last thing.
Yeah, after that I started writing for Maktub.
Okay, well. So if you have to say something about these platforms, this is what is happening. But if you want to tell something, what would you say?
The world is beyond much more diverse and much wider than what they are able to comprehend from their studios and dining rooms, and they should I mean, I just despise their prejudice now. I seriously don't engage with any of these fellows. Most of them hate me. I have quarreled with almost everybody on them. I've called them out. Like, however good they are, most in 90% cases, however good they are, some place or the other their Islamophobia just comes out, and my sensor, my appetite for it is very low now. So I just don't engage with them. I don't. Neither do they call me, nor do I willingly talk to them.
But there is some founder editors follow you on Twitter. I saw your handle. There are many people. So when you say that they do not give a space that you send you. So don't they give a space? And why do they follow them? They like you, right?
I don't know. I mean, just to check on what is happening in the what the fundamentalist Muslims are doing. Maybe to keep a check on that. Maybe to report on that. But yeah, it's not that everybody is bad. There's some positive reportings or some important reportings also on Muslims. But generally, it's there's a lens from which Muslims are viewed and portrayed, and it's also Islamophobic. I mean, their entire criticism, the entire reason why alternative media came out was because the mainstream was prejudiced. These folks are also, to a large extent, but that would be to, I mean, so like our elders say, we have to pick and choose our fights. So that's why they have been, I mean, we don't generally put out more criticism towards them because there's a bigger evil right now which we have to fight. That's why this is happening. But yeah, they're not beyond criticism. They absolutely deserve a lot of criticism against them are very valid. They I personally find them very, especially the alternative media, very classist, very Islamophobic, and this is generally about media. Almost every media, they'll go parachute somewhere, and then there's no democratization of, you know, the local reporters of some faraway town or cities. They just become tour guides for these daily journalists most of the cases. And I myself have worked for some like that when I was a student, to roam around and show them places and give them to explain them equations, and then they'll be able to write it. And that's how media functions, and largely the entire media is functioning like that. That's one issue. But yeah, like in US it's clear, no, that there's a left-wing media and there's right-wing media. Wall Street Journal is right, so, and why New York Post is left. Their definition of left and right. In India, everybody is center. Nobody is right. Nobody is left. Everybody is center. But there's this undefined right and left, which is only in the mind of the editorial board or the founding editor, and he is the one who is giving that lens. You have to look at it from this angle or that angle, and that they are never called out for that. And maybe in better times we will start calling them out, hopefully very soon.
Thank you, my pleasure. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.